Good afternoon and welcome to Kitchen Lab. On this week's episode, we're going to be preparing homemade oatmeal cookies. This recipe should yield 16 cookies. Prep time approximately 10 minutes. Cook time 10 minutes for a total of approximately 20 minutes. We're going to start with the list of ingredients, which will include 1 egg, large, unsalted butter, half a cup or 1 stick of very soft unsalted butter, light brown sugar, half a cup packed, vanilla extract, 2 teaspoons, granulated sugar, half a cup, old-fashioned oats, 1.5 cups of old-fashioned whole rolled oats, all-purpose flour, 3/4 of a cup, baking soda, half a teaspoon, salt, half a teaspoon, semi-sweet chocolate chips, 1 cup, plus we're going to add approximately 5 chips once the baking has concluded. To start, we should have preheated our oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And now at this stage, we're going to be lining a baking sheet or cooking spray, but in this instance, we're going to be using parchment paper. But at home, if you like to use cooking spray, you're more than welcome to. Okay, now we're moving on to step 2. So we've got our large bowl here. And at this point in the game, we're going to add the egg, butter, and the vanilla extract. Okay? So we're going to crack our egg first. Alright, dispose of the shell, for those of you at home. Okay, and then we are going to add our butter. Okay. Alright, and then we are going to add our vanilla extract. Just right over here. Okay. Now, at this point, we're going to be adding both of our sugars, so both our packed brown sugar as well as our white granulated sugar. Okay, so we'll grab the brown first. Throw that in there. Add the white sugar as well. Okay. And then we're going to be mixing with our spoon for approximately 90 seconds. Okay? Set your timer to 1.5 minutes or 90 seconds, and then just start mixing it in. It's quite vigorously, as you can see. We get that softened butter really blended in there. Once the butter is really softened, it will become gradually easier to go along here. Get everything along from the sides, blend it in. Make sure that continue to break down that butter. Your hands should get tired at this point. If you're ambidextrous, like some of our members, you can switch hands. But it's encouraged that you're using your dominant hand for most of this time. See, I'm not getting enough momentum there, but it's just for those of you who need a little bit of a break. Most of us fall into that category. You're definitely welcome to switch it at some stage. You gotta get a little bit more momentum in here in order to get everything blended in. Okay, so now that we've finished blending in those wet ingredients and sugars, we're going to be adding oats first. Start with the oats before we get ahead of ourselves. Okay. We're going to be adding in the flour. going to be adding in the baking soda. We're going to be adding in the salt. Okay. And we're going to be stirring these ingredients to combine. Okay. Again, try to get everything off the sides as best you can, so it's able to blend in evenly. Just kind of grab it from the side, as much in there as you can, and just continue to stir. You're going to start to kind of get some clumps here with ingredients combining themselves. That's okay. So you're going to notice that flour is definitely going to pack on the sides. So you really got to make a conscious effort to do your best to kind of, you're going to have to be almost scraping it off the sides. The butter is definitely going to work against you here, so you got to try to keep that in mind as well as you're working at getting these all these ingredients blended together. A little bit of flour on the sides is okay. Try to get the bulk of it. The oats again are going to pumping here, which is okay. You want. Stuff will kind of gel for a while. Alright, so we've reached step 4, and at this point we're going to be adding in our semi-sweet chocolate chips to combine. Alright bakers, we've reached step 5. So now at this point we're going to be using a 2 tablespoon cookie scoop to form mounds and place on our prepared baking sheet, which we've already assembled. And we're going to try to space our cookies approximately 2 inches apart, give or take. Okay? So we're going to take 1 tablespoon to start. Okay. Get your 1. And if you are using gloves, which I recommend you be using, you can kind of mold it using your hands. You're going to stack it up a little bit higher because they will shrink down substantially. The reason why we really want to space them apart because during the baking process, your cookies may come in contact with one another and may affect the baking process. We want our cookies pretty soft. We're going to shoot for about the 10-minute baking time. For those of us who want a little bit more of a crunch to our cookie, a little bit harder surface, then we go closer to the 13-minute one. For our purposes, we're going to shoot closer to the 10-minute frame. But again, that's totally at your discretion at home. Okay. Okay, so now that all our cookies are formed, we have exactly 16. That's what the recipe called for, 16 cookies. We stacked them up pretty high, got enough, chocolate chip distribution is pretty good. Again, 2 inches apart so the cookies aren't touching when we start baking. And now we're at the point where we're ready to throw them in.
Perfect.
All right.
We're ready to burn them.
Thanks for joining us this week. As you can see, they turned out just fine. Hopefully yours did as well at home, and serve and enjoy.